Hey, Miles here, milesbeckler.com, and today I've got Ian Robinson, ianrobinson.net. You may remember Ian from the podcasting video. He and his wife run a successful podcasting company called Freedom Podcasting, but this video is more about the idea of documenting what you're doing. Ian, thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
So, give us a quick description of what that gigantic thing is in the background right here.
This right here is a 40-foot long school bus. It's actually 36 foot 6 inches, and we're turning it into a house. We're basically just building a home out of it.
So they're literally doing a bus conversion, taking a school bus, and they're turning it into a tiny home / recreational vehicle. Mm-hmm. And the reason I find this to be really important, and what I'm wanting to share with you right now, is Ian has committed to documenting the process and explain how you're documenting and what that looks like.
Yeah, so each day I'm trying to make a video. Every day that I work on the video, I'm trying to make like an interesting looking, fun to watch video about how to do it.
Got it. So every step, every phase, he's actually not just making the bus RV, he's also documenting the process, cutting them into videos, publishing them to YouTube. How many videos do you have as of this recording?
Like 43.
So he's got like 43 videos. I'm going to pop up the link to his channel right up here. So check out his channel. Definitely subscribe. And I'm curious, like his videos are great, first of all. Compared to what you're watching here, the editing quality, the production quality, he's got me crushed. So where did you start to get into video production? Where did you seems like you love video production, right?
Yeah. I think I love it as an art form. And I was in New Orleans, and I was just like, I want to start making movies. And we started making movies from there. And we made a whole video series of us crossing the United States. We bought a car in Miami. Well, and then we drove the car to New Orleans, and that's when I wanted to start making movies. And I made movies all the way to drive to New York, and then all the way across the country.
So you started documenting the process with that car on a road trip?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
I don't know, 2 years maybe.
2 years? And then I've seen other videos you've made. You created a knife at one point. Well, it started with a what? Yeah,
it was a railroad spike. And my friend has a forge, and we just made a knife. He knows how to make knives, and so he just guided me through the process, and we just filmed it the whole way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And at one point, you documented the process of how to make a podcast.
Right.
And you turned that into an actual paid course, right?
Yeah.
And where's that?
On Udemy.
On Udemy. So really, if you think about this, right, I'm documenting the process on my channel of how to do Facebook ads, how to build a funnel, all this kind of geeky, nerdy stuff. Ian's very creative, very hands-on, and he's documented the process of traveling. I mean, you even have some Thailand videos that are pretty awesome and some travel. So he's documented the process of traveling. He's documented the process of building things, of creating things. Did you have any, schooling on video production? Did you go to school for any of this?
No.
100% self-taught?
Yeah.
And on the podcasting, what you do professionally, what you and your wife do professionally, any actual college degree in audio engineering? Not at all.
No.
So
I watched 3 YouTube videos.
So literally, he's watched a few videos, he learns and jumps hands-on. And who do you follow in the space? Like, who puts out videos that get you to be like, whoa, I love how he's creating and documenting to kind of get your creative juices going?
I mean, because of YouTube, there's so many, right?
Right.
I really like Casey Neistat, and I really like Jimmy DiResta, and then I like Martin Scorsese. But I like movies, too. Martin Scorsese movies are really awesome. When he does pinwheel things like that, he does a bunch of crazy stuff, and so it's just the inspiration's everywhere.
Inspiration is definitely everywhere. So once you get the bus completed, you're growing this audience on YouTube now. We were looking at his numbers, and his YouTube channel in the last 90 days is up literally 300% views. And you've been publishing videos. What do you think on average? Maybe one every other day, one a day?
Yeah, three to four a week.
3 to 4 a week.
The problem is that it's when I'm doing this project, this is a lot of work, and then making the movies cubes that work, so it becomes a triple expanding problem.
Right.
And so therefore, I just can't make a movie every day, because sometimes I'm doing stuff the project's too small to make an interesting movie about. So
right. So in the process of documenting, I think you kind of touched on something that I think we really need to communicate effectively. So I've noticed when I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to take this thing that I've been doing over and over and I'm going to teach it. I mean, it just slows me down to a halt to actually take, okay, what am I doing? Get the ideas, bite-sized chunk it, get the camera done, do the editing, the post-production, blur out my account numbers so they can't see my accounts.
Yeah.
So how is that process for you on the bus?
It's just the same. It's the same as complexity as teaching something online,
Right.
as it is teaching something in the physical world. Like I blur out, like I wear my shirts inside out so that I don't have any logos on, and I like spray paint my tools gold because I don't. I mean, I wouldn't spray paint them gold if were given to me for free, but
Right.
because you're kind of building your own thing, you don't really want a bunch of logos and stuff in there.
Right.
You don't want your account numbers in there. You know,
Right.
receipts. You probably don't want your address, right? And so
Right.
you're constantly just like
License plate numbers,
you're
try to
thinking
keep
about
out.
15 things all the time, and
Right.
it's hard, but it's what you got to do to make cool stuff.
And when you're making a cut or when you're creating something, like you're physically setting up your tripods.
Yeah.
I mean, you and your wife, V, also works on this too. So big shout out to V. And like it is a team project here, but like you're not just going in and making the cut and bolting the panel on. You've got to like make sure the camera can see the cut. You've got to drag the tripod around. You got to make sure the lighting looks okay. You make the cut, you look at the camera, then you go bring the camera over, set the camera up to actually put the piece in place.
Right.
So every little thing you do takes like 3 times as long.
Yeah.
Because you're documenting.
Mm-hmm.
And then at night, you were up till what time last night editing?
Oh yeah, like 2:30.
Up till 2:30. So literally, and we're here on his property helping with him. So we worked all day yesterday, pretty much hailed on us repeatedly, freezing temperatures in spring. And then he stays up till 2:30 in the morning to edit all of that footage to have a video ready to go out. And the reason I'm kind of like really kind of getting granular on this is, I mean, would you call it easy? The process of documenting, like what you're doing?
Well, I think I mean, it's super hard.
It's super
very
difficult.
challenging.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's
also
fun,
like,
right?
yeah, I would say it's much easier than going to do something that I didn't like. So.
And that's where, you know, I'm such a proponent of this. You got to do what you love.
Yeah.
You got to do something that's in your heart. And you're kind of one of those you're a creative person. You like to create things and build things. So, and then also making the movies is a creation aspect. So on many levels, you're creating that giant thing as an RV, and you're also creating the videos that are going out, creating an audience at the same time. So it's kind of a labor of love. But I thought it was just great to have Ian here and with the bus as an example, because, you know, you don't have to teach like nuts and bolts computer-based stuff in order to build an audience online. I think you're seeing some of the cool rewards of it, and I'm really excited to see where this goes for you.
Yeah. Another thing to touch on with that is that you'll see videos like guys that are doing really good. It's like Chris Fix. There's like a YouTube guy who just teaches people how to fix cars, and I mean those numbers get huge. And a lot of people need to know that stuff. So
right,
because you teach internet marketing, that doesn't mean that somebody else should.
Right.
Like if you're good at welding, you can make a great welding channel.
Absolutely. I mean, repairing vehicles, building, woodworking. I mean, there's a million different crafting, knitting. Like there's a million different ways to create an audience and to be of service. And really what you're doing is powerful because like the hashtag VanLife thing is huge right now. Like the tiny bus conversions or the big bus and tiny bus conversions are really big. And the way you're documenting it paints a very clear picture for people who are like thinking about the process.
Yeah. And another thing is it teaches people, like, I didn't know how to weld, and I just made a welding cage over there, right? Like I bought a welder and did it. A lot of people have this conception that you need to go to school and learn how to do stuff. Like the truth is you can just buy stuff, watch a few YouTube videos, and give it a try.
And you're documenting your process of welding now as well, right?
Yeah.
See, you don't have to be an expert. It's not like Ian came to this as like an RV expert or somebody who's done 4 or 5 bus conversions. He came to this almost from a creativity standpoint of, this is something my wife and I want to do. They want the end result, which is a bus. Are you going to live in the bus? Are you going to part-time in the bus? What's the goal for the bus once it's done? Or at least the thought at this point?
It's pretty funny because right when we finish the bus, we're going to fly to Australia and leave the bus here. But hopefully, we don't have a specific plan. I want to be able to drive it around. But, you know, building the bus is actually more of like me working on those videos. Like I actually think of the videos as like the number one focus.
Right.
So
and those videos will continue to be an asset for life.
Yeah.
I mean, from advertising revenue to affiliate sales to potentially growing an email list, potentially just growing the YouTube kind of audience. Once you have that audience, it's amazing what's possible. And that's kind of his focus on the videos, on the documenting of the process, is really building an audience of people. They get to know Ian and V and get to know, like, and trust him. And at that point, when Ian says, this is the fan for the bus conversion, this is the best fan, and here's how to install it, and someone's searching on YouTube, what kind of fan should I put in my bus conversion? They find Ian's video on the fan, they watch that, they watch 6 or 7 of the other videos, boom, they trust him, they know he's the real deal, because you can see the ins and outs, the ups and downs of the bus conversion on YouTube. That's how affiliate marketing works. That's how growing a business online is meant to work. And it can be very physical. It can be different. And so I guess if I could encourage you, one thing is to look inside of yourself, right? Figure out, what is that thing? What do you love? Do you love mountain biking? Do you love crocheting? Do you love working out? CrossFit? Like, there's a billion. Do you turn military trailers into off-road trailers? Do you create Jeeps? Do you do hot rods? Like, what is that thing that you love? And then when you figure that out, you can document the process. How did you guys have the idea of the bus, out of curiosity? Of all the things you could create in this world, like, that's a hell of a project back there. Like, where'd that come from?
I don't remember anymore.
Just kind of came up.
I think V came up with it, but yeah, I honestly don't remember where it came from.
Well, it's pretty cool, and my wife Melanie and I have both been guests on his most recent videos. I believe videos number 42, 43, 44. Again,
not just guests, but helping out, doing dramatically important things. Yeah.
We're in there. We're building shit. We're hanging panels on the ceiling. Wiring. We put a ceiling inside of the bus. Painting the mirrors. We hung solar panels on the roof. The bus is now fully solar ready, and we just stopped by for a couple days to participate. Thank you for joining. Do you have anything to share to the audience? Like, the goal is to help people see the possibility of just creating and documenting the process. Any final thoughts for people? Or?
There's a really great book that I think helps a lot. It's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, and he talks about, like, the resistance and just, like, when you're not making things, just go out and make things. And that was a really great book. It's kind of like a Sun Tzu type book. You can read it kind of over and over, and you can read parts of it. You don't have to read the whole thing. I really recommend that book.
Yeah, I've gone through that on audio, and he's right. It's like, if you're just watching YouTube videos feeling like you want to build a business online, or feel like you want to do something, you don't know what that is, just start doing things, right? Just get good at documenting the process of anything, like turning a railroad tie into a knife. If you're going to be gardening this weekend and planning a new planter box outside your house, just try documenting the process. Put up your first video. Like, you don't have to go all in on one idea and make a super logical, progressive, large video series. It can literally just start with, I made this, and then I made that, and you can find what tugs at your heart.
Somebody was asking me what kind of video camera they should get, and I was like, you should just make your first 15 videos with the phone that's on, with the camera that's on you.
Which is exactly what we're on right here.
You're always using these.
Is the cell phone that was in my pocket a minute ago, and now it's here. It's in the bed of a trailer, just on a single tripod with no lights. Like, the tech of the creation is simple in this day and age, relatively. If you get hung up on what kind of video editing to use or this, that, like, YouTube is such a resource. Like, we can learn how to do anything in this world in this day and age on YouTube, or in forums is kind of the other place. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've taken a long enough break. I think it's time for us to get back to work.
No, don't let V hear you.
Yeah. So we're going to jump back in the bus. Thank you very much for watching. Again, check out Ian and V's channel. I'll have it pop up here on the closing screen somewhere, so you'll see their little circle somewhere. Check out their channel, subscribe. There'll be a link to that in the description below. Thank you for your time.
If you see us doing something stupid on the bus, please let us know so we can fix it before it
Leave a comment. Guide us in the right direction. And you can do it. Go create something in this world. That's what you're here to do on Earth. You are a creator, so let's create some shit. Let's document it. Let's make it look fun, and enjoy the process.
Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're the man.